I keep forgetting that. F9. I use Alt F9 in order to start recording. But F9 is also quick load, which is weird. I should rebind that to F6.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing?
She's the best ship at balance. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander.
I like to know my crew.
Top of my class in flight school. Put the Normandy.
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
Okay, what's the next? Let's do this hostage. Hades Gamma and the Farinata system. It's gonna be a short stream. I'm literally kind of just doing this to keep myself awake for another hour, so it'll probably be about an hour long.
Message for you, Commander. Just came in over a secure channel.
Shepard, this is Admiral Kahoku. I found out who set that trap for my men. The ones killed by the Thresher War. Damn, I hope you get this message. It was a group called Cerberus.
Boom.
An Alliance Black Ops organization. Top secret, highest level security clearance. They vanished a few months ago. Dropped right off the grid. Nobody knew where they went or what they were up to. They've gone completely rogue, Shepard. They're conducting illegal genetic experiments, trying to create some kind of super soldier. I don't have any proof, but I found the coordinates for one of their research worlds. I'm uploading them with this message. They're completely out of control. Somebody needs to stop them. I've done my part. Now it's up to you. This is probably the last you'll hear from me. Cerberus is after me now. I need to disappear before they find me.
So I mean, you heard a bunch of information there that contradicts. I harped on this when somebody asked before, but there's a bunch of information there that conflicts with what we got in Mass Effect 2. Cerberus is a Black Ops Alliance project that went rogue. So this is... Wait, which mission is this? Oh, yeah, I actually fell asleep. And this is, I was just saying, this is going to be a short stream, maybe an hour or so. Oh, and I also forgot to check. Hold on a second. I want to look at achievements. I did get one for both Garrus and Rex. So I need to take Liara and Tali with me, because suddenly I'm caring about this thing. Yeah, no, that shot, like I said, I got my second, before I go anywhere, I want to, damn it, you know, I'm just going to deal with what I've got on my characters. I will update my powers because it's been a while. But yeah, I got my second Moderna shot, and it knocked me out. I'm super tired today. Um, I was very low energy even during the stream earlier. One more point in charm. I don't care much about intimidate. I want a better barrier now that I have everything unlocked. So let's do the best barrier I can do. And so yeah, I left to grab food with my nephew and my sister. And then played a few rounds of Hungry Hippos with him. And then I fell asleep for hours. And then I woke up and watched some TV. Played some Rocket League. And now I'm here. She doesn't... There's no point at which she gets better armor, right? There's only light armor for the Quarians. I do need to do this so that I have electronics and damping. Okay, so that's all the powers unlocked. Let's give you AI hacking. I think that's completely unique to Liara, and it's a good, unique power. It'll let her hack Geth. Singularity, I believe, is unique to Liara. It is also a pretty awesome power. Electronics. Since when does Liara have electronics? Well, so streaming like this doesn't really take it out of me. Actually, let's go full singularity. Might as well go full unique powers. Because it's not like I have an audience or anything, and I'm not trying to be critical of the game or anything, so... It does not take anything out of me to do this. Maybe a little bit before that I was using it to try to keep myself awake, but like right now, if I wasn't doing this, I'd have to go lay down.
We should make haste here.
Shields disabled. Will get me next time.
Shepard's hurt.
You must
Oh.
stop me!
But yeah, my hope is that by tomorrow I'll be back to normal. Technically I'm hosting volleyball tomorrow, Yeah, I know, Timer. I'm not really too worried about you. Um, I'm technically hosting volleyball tomorrow, along with several other people. And I have already basically told them not
See
to
how it is?
expect me.
You write letters and everyone ignores you. Force is the only thing people appreciate. So how about if I kill Chairman
But I
Burns
would
and
like
finish the
to go.
charade?
Please, I was trying to help you people.
Let's not do anything we're all gonna regret.
Why not? What have we got to lose? Since the chairman here decided that we didn't get reparations, we've got nothing left to live for.
But I've changed my mind. Seeing you all, it's clear that you all deserve...
Shut up.
You had your chance. Some L2s are nearly crippled from side effects of the implants, but you voted against reparations.
Think about this. Burns is the one man who can help you.
Yes, if you release me, I can take another look at the reparations request.
What, we're supposed to trust you? Sure, you promise us freedom and say everything will be fine, but as soon as we surrender, you'll double-cross us.
I'm not promising to let you go. All I'm saying is that Burns will take another look. Right, Burns?
Absolutely. I had no idea that the L2 biotics were this desperate. If I'd known, the reparations will come. For whatever it's worth, I promise that.
You're right. I don't want to die. Maybe something will happen this time. We surrender.
Thank you, Commander. I thought I was dead when they took me. I'll see to it that the reparations discussion is reopened. I didn't know they were so desperate.
A Fifth Fleet cruiser will be by shortly to pick you and the prisoners up.
Thank you, Commander. I thought I was dead when they took me.
Like I said, I'm mostly doing... Until I get out of the way. I'm mostly doing Paragon. It's only when I know there's like an actual like funny outcome that I'm gonna do the mean thing. Oh, shit. Okay, apparently you can go backwards in that by right-clicking. Go Rouge. But yeah, I was talking to some other people. Other people were asking me about this earlier, and they're like, "What's the difference?" And I'm like, "There's not a difference. It just looks better." And so they started calling it a ripoff, and I'm like, "Well, that's what they advertised it as. They did, they weren't pretending like they were making a completely different game. This isn't the Final Fantasy VII remake." Okay, so Nasana Dantius wanted us to rescue her sister, Macedon and Artemis Tau.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Thank you for dealing with the hostage situation, Commander. Chairman Burns was quite impressed by the way you resolved the situation peacefully. Your assistance above and beyond the formal duties has been noted, Commander. Fifth Fleet out.
A lot of the audio keeps going just to one headphone for those dialogues. Shit, what did I say? It was Artemis Tau. Macedon? I think I read all the other ones. This is where I can land. In general, I agree that they should focus more on new IPs. But I think if we weren't so obsessed with making every single game some giant open world 100+ hour experience, then I think we would be fine. I think we could rearrange the way the game industry works. Let's put it like that. So you can make more games, more shorter games. But then they'd also have to start treating their employees good and not like complete garbage. Okay, that didn't say anything. Oh, I was gonna equip. Oh yeah, but I can't equip from there. I have to actually go down to the lockers in order to equip equipment on them, so it's actually better for me. So first of all, Sharjilla. Let me pull up a map of this so I know where to go. Yep. I think I'm gonna do that. There's something over here. I don't know if... Here's the thing, that only cans thing is funny, but it's YouTube. It's YouTuber bait. Why is the Kessler 5 worse than the Stinger 2 in every conceivable way? Okay, so here's the deal. Liara and them don't have anything. Liara has no weapon proficiencies whatsoever. I do think, like I said, they changed the leveling system. That's the only thing they've really changed in a dramatic manner about this game. Pistols and shotguns on Tali. So pistols and shotguns. Pistol? And shotgun. And then Liara. Can I force Liara to use a assault rifle? Will she actually use it? Okay, and then Liara armor. Well, let's look at my own armor first. Nothing. I do feel like I'm not getting anywhere near as much armor and just equipment in general that I feel like I should be. Bup, 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 bup. Let's trade in all of this for Omnigel. It's not until level 5 or 6 that any of it's still worth selling. Liara is kind of a mage. That is a fair comparison, I would say. Let's go back to the armor. I didn't ever install mods in your armors. Hold on. Nope, not the biotic amp. Armor. So armor plating 1. Let's go with ablative. Armor, this is the armor I got on Eden Prime still. And then that's my grenade stuff. Which I'm the only person that can use grenades. So this is biotic amps. Liara also needs a biotic amp. And she does have an Omni tool too. That's very weird. That's very peculiar. That's something they definitely changed. She didn't used to. Oh, what? Ah, that's new, I think. Just hit the wrong button. I usually go with like Iron Man colors or blue when I get to choose the colors. The best armor in this game is, I believe, gray with pink highlights. The Colossus armor. It's pretty fancy.
On my way.
And the best weapons are the, like, Spectre weapons. Is it gonna do it? Should be right in here. There we go. Come on, game, what are you doing? You did it for a second, and then it didn't play it again. There we go. So yeah, that noise, I pointed that out on like the last planet. I think it was Mike Gamble at one point said, oh, it's the Rachni. Pretty much just like that. But that's because it's associated. There's a side planet that has a bunch of Rachni on it, and you hear it in an area where they're emerging. And so maybe the Rachni were intended to be like more populous in the game. Yeah, it's absolutely cut content. So it could be the Rachni, and like there were supposed to be Rachni here, but then they were like, well, how are we gonna do that? But it's also weird because you only hear it on top of certain mountains, basically. Or hills, I guess would be more appropriate. And so it's not like it's a it doesn't just seem like cut content. It seems like it's a glitch in addition to cut content. Cooldowns are so high. What power? Oh, come on, come on, come on, lady. Damn it. Done. Move in a predictable way, please. Well, I don't think there's a motivation structure in the video game industry for an adequate setting a realistic expectation of what their game is going to have in it. The hype. The hype is what drives everything about video games. You want everybody to be hyped for your game, super hyped. And then once it's out, it doesn't matter if everybody talks trash about it because everyone will forget it by the time the next game comes out. It might kill the game, but it doesn't hurt the company in the long run even, don't think. I kind of feel like video game companies the backlash to Cyberpunk might have been enough, but I think in general, like Fallout 76 was garbage. I think everybody can agree to that. I don't think that's a controversial opinion. But everybody's still lining up for the next Fallout game, for the next Bethesda game in general. Oh, jeez. Oh, can I go in those? Oh, no, I can't. Yeah, I never actually bought into the hype with Cyberpunk. Oh, shit. Jesus, where... Jesus. There's not even like a gap I can get those first 2 rings on this. I think when they auto-generated this, they didn't make sure that they didn't have a good enough algorithm to make sure you can always succeed at this minigame. You discover evidence that the Asari leading these slavers and Nasana Dantius, an important ambassador on the Citadel, are sisters. You should return to the Presidium and confront Nasana with this evidence. So yes, Nasana sent us out here to kill her sister. She did not, in fact, have a sister that was kidnapped by slavers. Her sister was a slaver, apparently. And she sent us out here to kill her. Oh, I can't get through there. Some minigames are not terrible. I am working on a game right now that is pretty much nothing but minigames, so I have to like believe that, at least to a certain extent. It's just they aren't used very well most of the time, and they aren't fun usually on their own, and that's a problem. There was for the Dead Space games, there was a motion comic thing called Ignition? Dead Space Ignition, I think is what it was called. But it was back on Xbox 360. And in between the comic sections, you had a comic that you could like choose different paths. And in between the comic sections, there were minigames. And the minigames varied in quality. There were 3 of them. But they were good. They could have used a little more work, maybe. One was like a tower defense. was like a reverse tower defense,
Heading out.
where the map was already set up and you were sending out the enemies. Which is a cool concept, but not executed very well, because it really just resulted in spamming everything. Okay. Down here somewhere. So there was that. There was a reflector. There were like lasers shooting around, and you had to reflect them and combine them. Like there was a red and a green one that you had to merge. And it was interesting. I don't know if fun is necessarily the right word. But, yeah, I mentioned I'm working on a game, and it's basically not...
Commander, you're going beyond the range of the operational area.
Shut up, Joker. It's not too dissimilar from that, actually, where it's a story, and then the story is broken up by mini-games. It's a little bit more visual novel-ish, which I'm hoping to have out this year, is what I'm working on. But I'm actually spreading myself pretty thin right now. Because I'm doing that, I'm doing the YouTube video thing, now I'm streaming this game. And theoretically, I'm streaming Subnautica Below Zero as well, but I'm just playing these games, and I'm like, well, I might as well stream them while I do that. Especially with Mass Effect. I gotta be honest, Mass Effect is one I really want to, like, play with people at this point. It's kind of like watching a movie where it's like, yeah, I like watching movies, and I like watching movies by myself, but sometimes you want to watch a movie with someone else. The minigames for doing chests. The minigame for chests specifically, again, it depends on the minigame. And it depends on how frequently it wants you to do. The more frequently, it doesn't matter how good of a minigame it is. Eventually, you just want it to go. I believe you're talking about Alex. I have... Alex doesn't work on the right style of game, is the easiest way to put it. He doesn't work on what I'm interested in, and I know he's getting... I know he's gotten some recognition from, because I think like Markiplier and a few other people played his games, but that's not my... The horror YouTube scene is not my scene. Hydra and Argus Row. But I will say that at least he's putting stuff out. I haven't put anything out, which is a big problem. I went to school for game design, and graduated 4 years ago. 4 years ago at the beginning of this month, and I have not put anything out. Which is why I'm kind of now in like rush mode with with my game. Is I'm like, I need to get something out, even if it's not the greatest
Message
thing
coming
ever.
in. Patching it through.
general distress call from the Sacred Angel Medical Transport. Critical system failure. Losing power. Emergency landing. Argos. Communications failing. Life support and emergency transponder. Won't last. Please hurry.
Okay, so Met Ghost is where I want to go, but I want to check all these other plans. Warlord Sugar is defeated by Turians during the Krogan Rebellions. Sugar was a female, and she was fertile. I feel like this is what I just checked, yeah. I feel like even the statement game design is tough as maybe a bit misleading. It's just you have to think about stuff. But the actual putting out a game, that's the thing, is that's kind of always been the thing, is just getting something to my standards has always been a thing, and I need to give up on my standards a little bit, I think. And I was working on something with friends. I currently have theoretically hired one of my friends to do art on my current game. It's a little bit of a visual novel style. What's the best path to get all these? It's a visual novel style, and so I need like 7 different backgrounds and like 8 different characters. Well, yeah, and so I'm kind of just testing out my friend and seeing if it works. I don't feel like his heart is really into it. I feel like he's just like, oh, well, I did art. Or he is an artist, so he used to be an artist. And then he went back and did the Navy. And so now he's in IT. Because that's what the Navy trained him for. But before that, he actually got a degree in video game art. So it's kind of also a matter of if he can have an output, if he has an output. Which I haven't had too much of an output since I brought him on, so I can't complain too much, but at the same time I'm basically, I need to get in the headspace of I'm his boss. Oh, damn it, come on. So I'm a little tripped up right now, actually, because Outriders, the story for Outriders is actually pretty close to what the actual setting for my game was gonna be. Except Outriders would basically be a sequel, because I'm doing a sci-fi thing. You're on a spaceship trying to find a new home for humanity after Earth was destroyed. And that's also the setup of Outriders. And so basically you're the engineer on the ship and you're just going around fixing things. See, this is actually one of the things I kind of miss about Mass Effect 1, is these levels. I'm not saying they're perfect, I'm not saying they don't need a lot of work, but having, like, actual Uncharted worlds that, like, you need to explore does a lot for making the game universe feel a lot more expansive. I get what you're going for with Titan A, but it's very different because it's almost identical to Outriders. The biggest difference with Outriders, although I don't think I'm going to allude to this in my game.
I do not see any survivors. Careful, Shepard. I've got a bad feeling about this.
But the universe I'm trying to set up in that game is, the universe I'm trying to set up is that, Earth was destroyed, this ship is going out, this is not the only ship. There are actual other ships. As opposed to in Outriders, it's literally like this is the last chance for humanity. Am I getting... Ew. That just blew up. Tali, why are you, like... I was kind of trying to see if I can still loot this. I don't think I can. One escape pod. Okay. And then the last thing on this planet is down over here. Yeah, and it's not the same, and I've been working on mine for years. I'm you know, maybe a little nervous of people drawing the comparison, but it's not inspired by it in any way. I'd never heard of Outriders until, like, right before it launched. Or if I had, I didn't remember it. I actually came up with the idea for this game in 2018. Although it wasn't a visual novel at the time. It was more like Dark Souls without the combat, if that makes sense. I wanted to have a game that you go around and all the characters have their different problems, and you resolve that just by talking to them at the right moments and stuff like that. Ratatouille. Nice Red Letter Media reference. So find the commune, Hawking 8S Century system. Actually, you know what I do want to look at real quick. I didn't read this. Nope, nothing on there. Okay, so Hawking, Ada, and it was just the Century. No, because Outriders...
Message coming in, Commander.
Oh no?
Big surprise. The Alliance needs you again.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett with Alliance Command. We've got a mission for you. An Alliance officer named Major Kyle has set up a small compound in the Hawking Eta cluster. He's attracted a number of followers, mostly biotics. He's become an outspoken critic of the Alliance, and we believe he's mentally unstable. This could be trouble, Shepard.
What kind of proof do you have that the Major is dangerous?
3 days ago, we sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. That compound is a cult, Shepard. They call him Father Kyle now. He set himself up as a religious leader.
You said his followers were biotics?
Yes. Major Kyle never showed any biotic tendencies himself, though. I think he's just latched onto a group he identifies with. Many biotics feel marginalized or ostracized by society. Kyle probably sees them as victims who need his protection. And they see him as someone who
See,
will
they
fight for them.
dropped all of
Unfortunately, he's
this.
convinced them that the Alliance is somehow responsible for all their problems. We can't let him go on like this.
What were those Alliance representatives going to talk to Major Kyle about?
They wanted to bring him back to an Alliance facility for treatment. Major Kyle served us faithfully for many years. We weren't going to abandon him. Given his state of mind, however, he probably saw them as a threat. We're almost certain he had his followers killed him.
What else can you tell me about Major Kyle?
He used to be a model soldier, but something happened to him at Torfin. Too many Alliance soldiers died under his command. Couldn't cope with the guilt. His psych evaluations showed he couldn't handle the stress of command anymore. He was given an honorable discharge in early retirement. We'd hoped he would get better in time, but we underestimated how far gone he was. Now it looks like it's too late.
I might be able to end this without violence.
That may not be possible, Commander. We don't want a bloodbath, but Kyle is dangerous. I'll trust you to use your judgment. Hack it out.
Hack it out. You should watch Red Letter Media stuff. I love Red Letter Media. I think they are a good mix of funny and actually like informative. They did a video on Borat, on the second Borat movie, that I think is amazing. Because not that anything they do in it is particularly amazing. I didn't look at the things. But because they made everybody that's kind of like overly praising how he gets these people on camera, they kind of made them all look like idiots. Because they talk about he's manipulating. Like he's manipulating the audience. He's not necessarily capturing what he thinks he's capturing or what he's showing you. What he's actually doing is manipulating footage in such a way that it makes people look worse than they actually are. And so when it comes to like the Rudy Giuliani thing, they put the same, not they, like Red Letter Media, but like Borat, in that movie, they put the same clip in there 3 different times from the same clip from 3 different angles, but they played them back to back So it makes it look like he's spending like 10 minutes adjusting his pants, or 10 seconds rather. But it's literally just like he leans back and tucks it in and then leans back forward. And that's not to say that Rudy Giuliani isn't a pervert, because we know Rudy Giuliani is a pervert. That is nothing new. Clendagon's most striking feature, they used this in Mass Effect 2, I don't like it. Most striking feature is the Great Rift Valley that stretches across the southern hemisphere. What's most fascinating about the rift is that it does not appear to be natural. The geological record suggests that it is a result of a glancing blow by a mass accelerator round of unimaginable destructive power. This occurred some 37 million years ago. So this is the setup for the Derelict Reaper in Mass Effect 2. And I don't like how they did that. Mostly because I think, first of all, the idea that you could find the location of anything based on a planet that's circling around a sun and spinning in degrees, it could literally be anywhere in the entire galaxy. So how would they know where to find the Derelict Reaper? But also, if you're gonna find something there, you should have found the weapon to help you fight the Reapers. Why not both? Press drop. Oh, there are lots of situations where you can talk it out instead of using violence. You were with me when I was with that guy that was taking the biotic guy that was taking the guy hostage, and I talked him down. You can straight up kill that guy instead. That's just one example. There's actually, man, if you haven't played it, I really think you should play. All this stuff that I'm doing right now isn't really necessary to the plot, so if you actually don't find this interesting to play, you can skip over it at any point. 6. Oh, really? Really? Mass Effect 3 doesn't have... You don't have the same control over Shepard that you do in the first game, even if it is just an illusion. So-called. That might actually be the illusion of choice. That actually would have been worth mentioning if I had thought about it. Don't want to use my Omni Gel to do that. I like this. I like the trail of being able to see where the Thresher Maw is going. So a lot of the... I don't think... Well, I don't even think that's just a matter of that's how Jeff played it. I think it's literally a matter of what they did with the game. So Mass Effect 1... What is 5? It's an abandoned camp. Mass Effect 1, I don't think Shepard... I kind of knocked that out of my mouth. I don't think Shepard in Mass Effect 1 says a single line of dialogue without it prompting the player. Sometimes that is a false choice, and he says the same thing regardless of what you what you select. So it'll give you like a choice with 3 different options. There's a pretty famous one at the beginning because you're having hallucinations, you're having visions. And there's a thing that you can, at the beginning, you can say, oh, I had a dream, I had a nightmare, or I'm having visions. And I think either, regardless of what you choose, it says exactly the same thing. And it's like, well, okay, I know that because I've played the game so often. Nobody who played the game just once would realize that that choice is not actually making a difference. And so I think that's probably an example of how I think you can use illusion of choice in a positive way. People still complained about it, but I'm fine with it personally. See, and this is going to be one of those places that it's really hard. See, that booster, as far as climbing is concerned, really just kind of offsets that they made the Mako less able to go up. Well, and it's just a dialogue choice. Not every not every line of dialogue has to have profound, wide-reaching effects. But I think it's an important part to make the player feel, lady, you got to make the player feel like they are in control of the main character in an RPG. In Mass Effect 2, I don't think you choose half the lines of dialogue in that. I think Shepard speaks on his own regularly. There's a part in Mass Effect 3 where he straight up like kills someone in cold blood, even if you're doing the Paragon stuff. It's just scripted into the game. And you're not supposed to care because the Vorcha are just stupid animals, but it's like, dude, I'm not playing that character right now. You just completely broke my immersion. And it's like, it's not my Shepard anymore at that point. And so yeah, it's important to make the player feel like they are in control of the character. And the latter games just did not care. They were action games first. Okay, so I did that. 1 is the biotic compounds. 2 and 7. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I don't think Shepard says a single line of dialogue without a prompt in this game. Even if that prompt is a false choice, and I think that's important. And that's one of those things that, like, I have a hard time getting people to understand, is I genuinely love this first game. And so when Mass Effect 2 came out, I can appreciate it for being a good game, but it's not a good sequel to this in any capacity. It's a completely different game.
This is a private sanctuary.
It's a weird
Outsiders
spin-off.
are
It doesn't
not
even
welcome
follow like a
here.
real story. Yeah, I think hashtag not my Shepherd is fair. Twitter wasn't really a big thing. Well, Twitter was kind of a big thing, but I didn't really pay too much attention.
I need to talk to the man in charge. It's important.
Father Kyle wants nothing more to do with the Alliance.
So I can do two things here. I can basically go into this compound and kill everybody, or I can negotiate and try to talk Father Kyle
I want this to end peacefully. If he doesn't see me, people can get hurt.
We
out
won't
of
let
letting...
you take Father Kyle away. He protects us. We need him.
The Alliance wants someone to pay for those murders. Let me speak to Major Kyle and maybe I can find some way to help you all get out of this alive.
Wait. Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
Yeah, you were asking about, you're asking about the, whether you can just talk at people out of killing. This is a good example. I don't have to kill any of these people, but if I want to, or if I fail, see, there is some texture pop in still, but it's fast, at least. And I don't think there's anything even remotely like that in the sequels, where you really get a choice of whether to kill someone or not. I think in both Mass Effect 2 or 3, you basically have to kill everybody that you're gonna kill. Like, these people are just wandering around. It's very, very early, late 2000s, I guess. Where they're kind of just wandering aimlessly. They don't have, like, stuff that they're doing or anything. They also reuse this exact same underground bunker for, like, 5 different missions.
I am Major Kyle. I know why you've come. We have no quarrel with you. Why can't you just leave us alone?
What happened to those other Alliance officers? The ones who came before me?
They wanted to take me away from here. They wanted me to abandon this place, turn my back on my family. They spoke blasphemy. I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you are endangering your followers?
I respect that you have come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless.
See, if I say I tried to help you, if you say any of these ones on the right, I'm pretty sure you fight all of them, but because I am charming enough, I can actually convince
You ordered your
him
followers
to
to
surrender.
kill those Alliance investigators. You must face the consequences of your actions. Do you really want your children to suffer for your sins too?
No, this was my fault. My children are innocent, pure. Please, I never meant for this to happen. I'm sorry.
You're doing the right thing, Major. Your children will be better off for it. Come on.
Wait, if my children see you taking me away, they won't understand. They will attack and you will be forced to kill them all. You have shown me the error of my ways, Commander. Now you must give me time to explain it to them. It is the only way they will understand. Please, give me 1 hour. After that, I will meet the Alliance authorities at the gates of my compound and surrender without violence. I give you my word.
I'm gonna trust you. If you betray that trust, you and all your children will suffer.
I will not betray you, Commander. Thank you for this.
Your pilot can ask Alliance Command to send a patrol to collect Major Kyle. I just hope you know what you are doing, Shepard.
I will surrender myself to the Alliance outside the compound gates in 1 hour, Commander. I give you my word.
Your pilot can ask Alliance
We can't trust the Alliance.
You can't actually talk to them.
Father Kyle says we biotics have to stick together.
There's choice, but choice affects who you side with in the end. Yeah, one of the criticisms of the ending of Mass Effect 3 is that no matter what your choices were throughout the entire series, you get the same option at the end of one of three endings, basically. And all three endings are visually very, very similar. Yeah, I don't know. I think, especially lately, as much as I hate to admit it, the dating sims and the visual novels type stuff has very much come a long way in introducing choice affecting the actual game. We've mentioned Monster Camp and Monster. It's like in there somewhere. Monster Camp, Monster Prom. Those are. I use those because those are the ones I'm familiar with, frankly. Because of Jeff. But the. Jeez. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Tumble down the mountain. No. But the fact that you can do. I'm not entirely sure with those, to be honest, if the outcome changes within the story itself. Like if you don't have a high enough charm, then certain choices don't work or whatever. But it does like affect, since the goal of that game is to meet somebody to date, you have to actually be able to build up that charm or whatever power. Oh shit, it's not down here. Good, I'm glad I went all the way to the lowest point and now have to climb back up the mountain. Where is it? Is it down there? I don't want to go down there if it's not down there. Shoot. Dang it, it wasn't down there. Is this it? Is it? Yeah. And then there's one last thing on this planet, and then I'll probably be done for the night. But yeah, I think it's interesting that they've done that. And I don't know how that would work in a big budget game. I'm being shot at from way over there, I guess. killed all of them but one with that shot. Did you guys even... Yeah, I feel like enemies are not dropping equipment like they normally do. I think they made it so you get less equipment in the game. Non-regain series of games. I'll look into them. There was a Thresher Maw up here that I killed. Is that? Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. Like I said, I'm kind of the game I'm working on now is kind of a visual novel type thing as well. So,
Commander, something you need?
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
Joker sometimes will say different things, but I think it's only after the main missions. I don't think Presley ever
Commander?
updates his dialogue.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe after individual missions. But I'm going to go through and talk to all my squad is what I'm going to do right now. And make sure I have updated theirs.
Yes, Commander? Is there something?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Hello, Liara. Still got to
I get
decide
the
what
feeling
I'm...
you want to ask me something, Commander.
I still got to decide what I'm gonna do with relationship stuff
Maybe we could pick up where we left
in this
off.
game.
You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
We don't have the luxury of time, and Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
Yeah, the only dialogue that gets updated is the actual squad mates, really.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity
There's only
as something
3
of a bully.
romance choices in
You
the
run
main
over
game,
anyone
too,
your
in the
path
first
to get what
game.
you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
There's Liara here. Ooh. And then there's Ashley, if you're a male, and Caden, if you're female. Yeah, no, Liara, so Liara's an Asari. The Asari are the ones I was talking about earlier, where it was basically like Drew Karpyshyn kind of perving out a little bit about banging space babes.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
Because in Star Trek, they have the green-skinned space babes, and then this, they're like, let's make them blue
the
instead.
best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage
But
and heroism.
they're an entire race of women as well.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you, to understand what made you into the woman you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Lieutenant Alenko.
I believe if I say it's not serious, it gives me the option to romance both of them, and then at a certain point, the two of them confront me about
The
it.
lieutenant
So
and
I
I are
don't have
just
to make
friends.
my decision
Nothing
right
more.
now.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or
But I
was I wrong about that too?
definitely don't want to.
No, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you?
What's up, Dan?
We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We
I'm
have
streaming Mass
almost nothing in
Effect right
common.
now.
This makes no sense.
Oh, cool.
These things
Like
never
on
make
Twitch.
sense. They just happen and we get swept
I
up
can
in the
barely
storm.
hear you.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
Sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
Here, let me change some audio settings real quick.
I'll keep you safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this.
Yeah,
You.
hopefully that's a little bit better.
I need some time.
A little bit.
Yeah, I was just playing some Cyberpunk, man. That game is
Take all the time you need,
shockingly fun,
Liara.
after all
I'll
the
be
bullshit
here.
I heard. How
Thank you,
terrible it was.
Shepard. Let's just talk
It's
about something else
shockingly
for
what?
now.
Shockingly fun.
Yeah, I don't think, I think it's still a good game. I think there was always going to be a problem with
Goodbye, Shepard.
people expecting it to be better than it was because Witcher 3 was such a good game.
Yeah, totally. I will say though, like, I have a 3070, right? And it tears through the game. I'm running it completely maxed out at 1440p. And I've experienced frame drops like twice the entire time I've been playing.
Oh, yeah?
And other than that, like, it's run basically flawlessly. I mean, like, there's a couple glitches here and there, but like nothing.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Yeah, they updated the,
Of course.
They've pushed out enough
Played it pretty
patches and
close to the
everything
book
now.
so
I'm sure
far,
it's a lot more
but we're
stable
a
than
long
it
way
used to
from
be.
backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave
Yeah, dude,
yourself a
ray
way
tracing
out.
though.
I've seen what cutting corners
Very
can
nice,
do,
though.
and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard.
Dude, the new Egg Shuffle today didn't even have any NVIDIA cards in it. It was entirely Radeon.
That's
Okay,
not
hear
the
me out
appropriate
though.
way to address your
Like,
commanding
are you
officer,
opposed
Lieutenant.
to an AMD
Sorry,
card?
man. Maybe I got a bad signal.
I don't
But if
think I
you're-
want to do AMD stuff.
Maybe there's
I've
somewhere
had
else
too
I
many,
can
like,
confide in.
just over the years, I used to always have real bad experiences with them. And then, like, with my new computer, I dipped my toe back into the AMD waters and had a bad experience again.
With a card or with a CPU?
With the CPU. So my new laptop has a Ryzen. I don't remember what.
Right. Okay. Just something.
Yeah, it has some AMD Ryzen 6 core, I think. And then it has an NVIDIA 2080 video card in it.
Oh, that's pretty nice though.
But
what's
but because I bought it, like I was supposed to get a game for free with it, but AMD uses a stupid verification tool to assure that you're actually using their card. And because it was reading the NVIDIA card, it wouldn't activate to actually give me the code for my free game. And then I contacted their customer service repeatedly, and they never responded.
Yikes.
And so this is... So, like I said, I just kind of tipped my toes into that water, and they just fucking ruined it again. And then back in the day, I kept buying. I did buy a bunch of. I think it was even before AMD bought ATI, but I bought a bunch of ATI video cards, and every single one of them failed.
All right, Alenko. Off the record, permission to speak candidly.
So I'm really going for a 3000 series. NVIDIA.
Yeah. Dude, I'm super happy with mine. Like, this thing is sick.
She's a very interesting lady.
I will say though, like, I have the 5600X from AMD.
I never claimed to be big on alien culture.
You seem awfully worried about my personal affairs.
It's just that we don't have much downtime.
It does everything I need it to.
I like being around you, but I don't want to take up your personal time.
I like it.
Look, you didn't want to talk about Liara, did you? What's your real issue?
I'm gonna romance both Kaden and Liara for right now.
Nice.
Not questioning any
Dude, I heard they removed, like,
Let me be clear about that. It's just my experience that once someone lets something slide, it tends to pick up speed.
I wonder how much they actually did. I'll have to figure out when I get to Mass Effect 3. But it seems like they removed one shot in particular, and people got really upset about it. Okay. Because it's the meme shot of Shepard like questioning the universe or whatever while staring at Miranda's ass.
So this is like the new Mass Effect, like
talk to me, Kaden.
Whatever the hell they call
You got
it.
a little black rain.
The Legendary Edition.
Right. So is this just Andromeda and
you know the records about the biotic
remastered?
Training out on
No, Andromeda has nothing to do with this. This is Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3.
Made mistakes.
And it's mostly just a texture
Kinetics was
upres.
set up to track element 0 exposures and develop
There's
labs
not
for humans.
there's not a whole lot that's been altered or anything.
Could bring in experts.
They didn't change the combat at all.
Slow.
The combat in Mass Effect 1 seems a lot tighter. So it's if you're aiming at something and you pull the trigger, it'll actually hit. It used to be based on a die roll because it was more like an RPG. And so they actually made it so that it could... If you're aiming in the right area, you're going to hit them. As opposed to before, where if you're aiming at the right area, you could still miss.
Okay. Well,
They changed that. They made the Mako a little bit heavier, so it doesn't bounce around as much. But other than that, they haven't changed anything at all, really. The skybox on Eden Prime was different. I have a problem with that. How explicit are the sex scenes? They are not that explicit by modern standards, quite frankly.
Are they explicit enough to...
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
block it out on
where to
Twitch?
start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and EZO.
There's but. I think there's only but.
And their choice of teachers.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think Twitch will ban it.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Canadians kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
right now I just installed.
The Asari would have been more
Do you
acceptable
play
than the
like
Turians.
Skyrim and
Yes,
Fallout
but
at
the
all?
company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Yes, the sex scenes are considerably less explicit than the Witcher 3 sex scenes. There's only you only get like 3 sex scenes in the whole series, and I don't think any of them even show nipple. As far as Fallout, I'm not. I'm okay with Fallout, but Skyrim I'm not particularly a fan with.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
There's this.
I'm sure Canadics did what they thought was best.
Games, but
It wasn't
there's this
best for
program
us.
called,
They brought in an ex-military
Abijah,
Turian
which
named
is
Commander
just named
Vernus.
after something
To introduce himself, he liked
the
to
Elder
say,
Scrolls games.
I was at the helm of the dreadnought that
Basically,
killed
what
your
it
father.
does is it
I told him my
people
dad
can
wasn't in the
create
war. He'd
like a
retired
mod
to
list
Vancouver. My family had an
that
inland
they
home
basically
that
like
matured
develop
to new
themselves. I mean,
beachfront.
like all the mods are.
Burnus had it
other
in for me
people,
after that. He cut corners, pushed hard.
They put it together
Who
and
came
they
out of Superman or a wreck.
patch
A lot of
it
kids
and they
snapped. A few died.
make it all work
The point
together
of all of
in
this,
a
I guess,
stable manner.
is that when you cut
So
corners,
the one I just
it's not
installed
always
has
obvious who pays for it.
752 mods.
So why are you telling
I
me
just
this?
installed it in about
Is there
a
something
half
I can
hour.
do to help you get over it?
I'm 32, Shepard. You don't serve as long as I have
So
without
it's
coming to
just
terms
like
with yourself.
a massive
You also learn that
overhaul
if someone
of
is
the game.
special to you, you help them. Try to keep them from making
Yeah,
mistakes.
no, the modding community in Skyrim was really big. I know there's a lot of people that like actually made like job applications in Skyrim.
Yeah, people have made entirely new games.
Special,
like
huh?
basically within
If I'm out of
Skyrim.
line, just say the word.
It's pretty crazy.
You're not out of line, Caden. But there are regs.
So some modders
I
have
get you,
even been
Shepard.
like
I
hired
don't make
by
a habit of
Bethesda
complicating the
because
chain
they
of
like
command.
knew their way around
Just
the creation
think
kit
about
so
what I
well.
said.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander.
Yeah, which I think is interesting, but I never really got particularly interested in
What's your
the
opinion
actual
on the
game
last
itself.
mission?
Dr. Tassoni.
I remember
She seems nice enough.
Fallout
I mean, if you like
3.
the bookish sort.
Or not Fallout 3, Fallout 4. I really wanted to use the mod tools to make the UI in that game not garbage.
Oh, dude, there's mods for that already that are like excellent.
I know there are now, but like I bought the game when it first came out. So before they'd even released the modding stuff, and I was like, once they release the modding stuff, I'm gonna make a UI that isn't terrible
Any
for this game.
intentions there, Lieutenant?
None, Commander.
And then
I prefer
after I was done playing the game, I just
adventures.
forgot all about it.
We'll talk later, Caden.
I'd like that.
Alright, so for right now, I'm romancing both Caden and Liara. Eventually they confront you.
You get jealous.
Yeah, eventually they go, which one of us are you hitting on? And it's funny because if you go, you have to choose, and if you choose both, then the human is like, oh, well, I'm not interested then. And then Liara sticks around.
That's pretty awesome.
So Liara seems down, like she's down for the polyamorous relationship.
Nice. I never got like super into
We've got
Mass Effect.
Saren on the run.
I do want to like
It won't be long now.
go back and play.
Saren's
through
good,
it, though,
but I'm
because
better.
I know people think they're
Good.
awesome.
He's rotten. To the
I don't
core.
doubt that. Except
I
for
could tell
Andromeda,
as soon as I met him.
You never played you never played any of the Mass Effect games?
No, I've played them. I just never like played them through. You know.
Oh,
Why
okay.
didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have.
I
I
think
thought it was important.
I played the first one.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
And then
This was a while ago.
A
bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them.
Finished it.
They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure that this Legendary Edition is gonna change anybody's mind about even the first game, which sounds like it's the one that they put the most amount of effort
It wasn't
into.
that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo frigate.
BioWare?
Our biggest haul yet.
I'm trying to think of like what else they've made.
I was on board checking bodies.
I mean, they make the Dragon Age games. They made the Baldur's Gate games. They made Knights of the Old Republic. They made Anthem. Anthem was the most recent one they released.
Yeah, which was already canceled.
What did Saren want with the ship?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been released, but they aren't gonna support it anymore.
Yeah, like
a couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone.
But BioWare isn't BioWare.
Really bad feeling about him.
They aren't the same company that they used to be.
Oh, totally not. Yeah, EA bought them, didn't they?
EA bought them. EA bought them like a month before the original Mass Effect was released. So EA took their time in ruining. Oh, well, I say that, but frankly, I thought the downhill quality was pretty quick with what happened with Mass Effect 2.
What kind of cargo was the freighter?
I have my problems with Mass Effect 2.
I don't know.
Really, I thought that
all
was
I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some.
It is, but they're wrong.
Nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it.
No, I commented on this elsewhere, but
whose ship was it?
Mass Effect 1. I love almost everything about this. It's like a flawed masterpiece. And then Mass Effect 2, the stuff that didn't work in Mass Effect 1, with Mass Effect 2, they were like, well, let's just take it out entirely. And it's like, how about you make it better? How about you like make it work instead of ripping it out? So like the combat in this, I understand that they wanted to go more shooter oriented, but the weapons had a cooldown on them instead of using ammo, which I think is like a super creative and like interesting way of doing it. But they just dropped that.
Yeah, what am I thinking of? I want to say Destiny had a similar system for certain weapons, but
that's the only time you saw him?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't.
But as far as Anthem is concerned,
my instincts were right.
I played the beta or demo or whatever they want to call it.
So like the fully released game, you mean?
Yeah, it's basically the fully released game minus the day one patch.
Right.
And it was fun.
None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
I don't know how long it would have held my interest. But one of the YouTube, the person in the Twitch chat that's talking is one of the people from that watches a different YouTube channel, a Let's Play channel, with me, and the guy that plays it gets kind of into all the different live service games. Like, he seems to like the live service games, but he only likes the single player portion of them.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But
it's a pretty weird take on those types of games.
Hire ourselves out. And most of us never.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Yeah, and that's kind of...
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's
I don't know, but Anthem was interesting because it was basically like an Iron Man game.
Yeah, I mean, it looked really cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
want me to ask her about her sex life? Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they last.
Do you have a few minutes to talk, one-on-one?
I don't know, like,
I was just watching some from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Are you interested in the lieutenant, Chief?
No, ma'am. And anyway, Scuttlebutt says he's already sweet on someone. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Yeah, that I didn't even bother with the Avengers game. I thought that Avengers game looked terrible from day one. Every single thing I saw about it, every time I looked at it, it just looked terrible.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't very good.
We've always been close. Me and my sisters especially.
But I mean,
with Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Take that with a grain of salt, I guess.
Yeah, well, so it's the same thing. That YouTube channel I'm talking about, the guy played through it, and he actually really liked the single player story. But now they've been putting out extra content for it, and it kind of just sounds like it's recycling all the same villains, all the same bad guys, and all the same bosses.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Especially when it's like
took any crap
Marvel
posting
has
you could
such an
get that offered
expansive
space
universe,
time.
like, there's so many different things you can do with
He
it,
worked his
and
ass
just
off trying to get recognized. He never made it above
I
third
can't
third
figure
class.
out.
He was real proud
Yeah,
of
so
me
I
and
can't
Chief.
figure out why
First thing he did was
they
salute.
Marvel right now really wants Taskmaster to be a thing. Because he's one of the villains. He's one of the only bad guys you fight in the Avengers game. There is a they released a board game called Villainous. That one of the characters you can play as is Taskmaster. There's only 5 villains that you can choose from, and one of them is Taskmaster. There's also like a pandemic style board game where one of the bad guys is Taskmaster, and it's like they really, really want you to like Taskmaster. Oh, he's also in the Spider-Man games.
Have you played
What about
the,
your mother?
the
You haven't
PlayStation
mentioned
5
her.
one?
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be
Of
able to raise
Spider-Man?
kids while dad's away on a 6-month cruise.
I played
She
the
has a degree in
original
planetary geology.
on
She and Dad
PS4.
both wanted to see new worlds. She
I
gave
thought you were
up her
about to go
career to
back
raise
like,
us.
really far, like the one on PlayStation 2, like the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh no. I have played a lot of those too, but no. I played it. I played it when it launched on PS4. Is what I meant by the original.
Gotcha.
You have more than one sister?
And I thought it was fine, but I really am just completely sick of open world
Sarah's the
games.
youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more
I don't
outnumbered at home
disagree.
than on maneuvers.
I think it's like, it depends.
Where did you grow up?
If it's open world,
All
just
over.
for the
Same as
sake
you
of being
expect.
open world,
We
it's
transferred a half a
probably
dozen
not
times
very
before I
good.
finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you,
But
right?
there's some games that
I guess that's why I'm so
execute it very
tight with
well.
my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on
Yeah, I
duty.
remember Marvel going
Yeah,
after the
military
Inhumans
families,
too.
eh?
I don't.
With schedules like that, it's a wonder we
I
ever
mean,
have
that's what
kids
the
anymore.
Avengers is
Things were
that
intense
pushes
between Sarah and me
the
for a while.
Inhumans as
Then
well.
we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty.
I will
Sarah's
say,
graduating high
if
school
you
this year.
do get
This was
into,
only a
like,
couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time,
Skyrim
I was assigned to
Fallout
Chernobyl.
and stuff,
Same cluster, but a dozen
even
LY
with
away.
like these
Close enough to
automated
talk
programs,
regularly,
it's still
too far to make it back in an emergency.
involved
I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushing.
Definitely not
Yeah,
for the faint
of course.
heart,
If
or
he didn't ask
people
at
who
all,
are,
I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly.
you know,
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
inexperienced, to say the least.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they
Yeah,
took
I wouldn't. I don't know. My plate's kind of full right now, so I don't think I have any interest in ever going into the
Good thing Mom
modding
and Dad let us all
community.
learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few
I
days.
really don't blame you at all.
I
Why didn't you tell the police?
Yeah, because I'm
She said
working.
it
I
wouldn't
am
solve
still
the real
trying to work
problem,
on my game.
and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small calling.
So this is kind of my
I said
life
it was
right
her
now,
call
is
to
because
make,
I am
but
trying to
we
do
should let
like
her
the
do it her
YouTube
way.
videos on the side.
Mom was pretty pissed about that.
And then I'm also working on my game, and then I do volleyball twice a week, board games one night a week. Uh, and then the only reason I'm quote-unquote streaming anything right now is because this is out, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna play it anyways, I might as well. I've played this so many times, I don't need to pay all of my attention to it.
Pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took
So I might as well just hang out and see who wants to chat while I'm doing it, basically.
Likes big skirts and
Yeah, I
tops
think
you have
Twitch
to tie
is
her into.
honestly pretty cool
They
for
do
that.
great things to her figure, though.
Like, I'm getting a webcam shipped to me right now.
So, what did you learn?
And then once
One
I
of
get,
Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
Setup finished, I still need like a real desk. I'm just using like a really.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense.
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird.
Yeah.
Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So
you traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting.
Yeah, I've had a webcam for
so everyone at school knew what he did.
a long time at this point. I've actually probably had this webcam for a decade.
But Sarah gave me this look,
but I've only ever used it maybe a half dozen times.
Cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent.
Wow, how'd you manage to avoid Zoom this whole time?
I swear, she just flowed around him. Next
well, I don't have a job.
Down on the sidewalk, there's blood everywhere.
No, I had a girlfriend at the start of the pandemic.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher.
But
when he swung,
I mostly used my my laptop's webcam, and we used like Discord chat and everything.
Before they took him to the hospital,
but she was very tech illiterate, and so we always had to do a bunch of troubleshooting every single time, and she would get frustrated when it didn't work right off the bat.
We do things when we're ready, not before, not after.
Is that why you yes?
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father.
No.
Was he on deployment?
No, I just, to be honest, I was never really all that into her. But she was actually like, she was hitting on me a lot.
I cannot rest from travel.
And so I was like, well, I'll try going out with you, see how it goes, and then I enjoyed her company. But it was one of those things that, like, when we weren't hanging out, I didn't spend any time thinking about her or anything like that.
Cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
Developing games is my job, except it doesn't pay, so I need a real job.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it.
The easiest way to put it is it's a visual novel. There's a game you can check out if you want to see more or less what I'm going for, called Dead Space Ignition, which that one is like a motion comic that has mini games in it, and that's basically what I'm doing, except that there's no motion to it. It's kind of just it's a story that has mini games in it.
Does he still like it?
Interesting.
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home.
I never.
Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching though.
I replayed the first two Mass Effect games fairly recently. I never got very far into the third one because it's a bizarre game because it has nothing in common with the first two. It's another example of EA fucking with things.
You mean from
Bro,
wherever
you
we
can
go
just say
after
it's
death?
not good. We all know what you
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
I do too.
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter, only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in
If I'm
higher
honest,
power.
I think a lot of people don't
Jeez.
like. I'm talking to Ashley right now, and I think a lot of
Hello,
people
have you
don't
people
like her
looked out the
because she's
window? How can
religious.
you look at this galaxy and not believe in something?
Nobody
I should get back
talks
to my
about that,
duties. Didn't mean
but
to take up so much of your time.
I think that's part of it. If I'm being honest.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
You ever watch Silicon Valley?
Yeah, I've seen all of it. It's a good show.
Yeah, so there's the episode where he's like trying to form his like coalition of developers. And one of them is this gay dude who's making a gay dating site.
Right.
And basically Richard outs him as a Christian.
Right.
And so everybody like wants him fired. And he's like, why does everyone want him fired? Like, what year is it? Everybody should be okay with the gay thing. And they're like, nobody cares that he's gay. They care that he's a Christian.
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
It's an unfortunate and depressing
It's a good question.
Look into what
There were
Silicon
several
Valley
reasons, I
actually
guess.
is
Like what?
Yeah, well, I don't think
Probably
it's
the same as
limited
most
to
jobs.
Silicon Valley, though. I think there's... I
I
think there is a movement of anti-Christian sentiment in the country. I don't want to go like Bill O'Reilly, there's a war on Christmas, because I don't think that's true. But
Okay, we'll do it live.
He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough.
But
you'd
I do
he'd be
think there
impressed you're
is
going
a
after
certain
Saren.
amount
My
of
father's a CSEC man to the bone.
people
Do
that
things
think
right, but don't do
secular
them wrong,
humanism is the way
Means
to
I'm being too
go.
rash, too impatient,
And
too
we've
worried
talked
that I
about
become just like
this in
Sarah.
the Discord
He
before,
actually
but
taught me
people
how
are
to
kind
become
of
a special
behaving
younger for the same reason.
in a religious manner about things that are not religion now.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000
it's
other
very
Turian
weird
military
to watch
recruits. I
because
could have
it's
received
like-
special training, but my father didn't like it.
He despises the Spectres.
How should I say it?
He hates the idea of someone having
People
unlimited
are very
power with no
against,
accountability.
you
He
know,
wouldn't like you,
I
Commander.
guess like
No offense.
I
the
suppose I
way
can understand his
people believe
concern.
in things or why
You
they
can.
believe in things.
But Saren's not going to play by
you know,
our
that
rules,
pertains to their
CSEC's
religion.
rules.
And
If you
then
want
they
to
go
nail
so
Saren, you need
hard
to send
into
someone
other
who isn't
things
restricted by policies and procedures.
and believe
Just
them
because you
for,
can break the
you know,
rules doesn't
the
mean
same
you should.
reasons.
I don't need to
But
stoop to Saren's level to stop him.
they believe that,
And neither
you know,
do you,
for
Garrus.
whatever reason, that's
I see what you mean,
justified,
but
someone's
I'll
religious
think about
beliefs
it.
aren't.
Thanks, Commander.
But yeah, I just think it's interesting to see, like I said, just straight up, like, even if, yeah, religion is too political, that's part of the problem.
Oh, absolutely.
But politics is also religion. So politics is too religious for me as well.
Are you okay?
I really do.
I don't
That's
know.
another thing.
Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer.
Site,
But I just sort of
God is
feel
like the reason
out of
for their
place.
decisions, which is
The
such
Normandy
a bad
runs
reason.
so smooth, it feels like we're not even moving.
Like, don't get me
And
wrong.
the engines
I
are
have
so
no-
quiet. How do you
I mean,
sleep
like,
at night?
obviously from our conversation, I have no issue with people being religious and holding religious.
The silence wakes you up?
But at the same
Back on
time,
the
it's
flotilla, the last thing you want to
God
hear is
didn't tell you
silence.
to pass the
It means an
Patriot Act.
engine's
Like,
died or an air filter shut down.
Right.
I guess you don't
Yeah,
have to
like
worry
it's-
about that here.
And, you know, people
But
are
old
like,
habits die hard.
oh, no.
But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so
I support
empty.
this policy.
It's like half the crew is
God
missing.
fearing politician, blah, blah, blah.
Back home,
Like,
I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage.
no, that's
I
not why
couldn't
you
wait to get away from the crowds.
You believe it because, like,
Now
your
that I'm out
corporate
here,
donors gave you a shitload
kind of
money
miss
to
them.
say this. And you're just, like, grasping at straws for, like, justification.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
Yeah, I can't believe,
That's
like,
true.
we've actually proven
I'm
that nothing in the
starting to wonder
Patriot
if
Act
that's
is
what the
actually
pilgrimage is
working at this
really
point.
about.
I can't believe we haven't
It's given
overturned
me
it.
a whole new perspective on my people and our culture.
Well,
You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never
yeah, but
return.
I feel like
I
that's a
always assumed
fundamental
something bad
misunderstanding
happened to
of
them.
what the Patriot Act is
But maybe they
actually
just
intended
wanted a
to do,
different
right?
life.
There's the public facing, hey, we want to stop terrorism.
You do plan to return
But
to the
then there's the
migrant fleet,
much
right?
more
I
sinister,
could never abandon my people,
privately
Shepard.
facing,
I will
yeah,
go
we
back
just want to
eventually.
spy on everyone.
But we have to
And,
stop
like, you
Saren
don't want to
first.
actually admit it, but you
Otherwise,
report doing
I
it.
might not
Very
have a home to go back to.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. There are 17
Yeah,
million.
I don't think it was ever about
Unfortunately,
stopping
we have
terrorism.
had to
They just
surrender
wanted
many
more
of the
What kind of
red. In
how do
extreme
we do that?
cases of
Domestic
population
spy.
decline.
I want to talk
Like
about
what? See you later.
Okay, I think I've talked to everybody now. Whew. It takes a really long time to talk to everybody on your ship in this game. Yeah, I don't know. I've gotten into religious arguments with people in the Discord before, and I'm just like, look, I'm not trying to tell you, like, not to practice your faith or anything, but a lot of you do come across as very judgmental.
Oh, I mean, definitely. Some of them are just legitimate, like, fundamentalists, and they're not going to change their opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see myself as like a extremely religious person. Um, Even though I was like raised Catholic, I went to Catholic school, literally started in kindergarten all the way through high school. So it's like I have all that basis for like why I would, but like even then, it's just I don't know. It's not something I find compelling personally, but other people do, and I respect that.
By the way, so El Conra Pasa 69, you gotta tell me who you are in Rage Select. I actually don't know who I'm even talking to. But we were talking about this before. How they changed what Cerberus is in Mass Effect. Because when Kohoku calls you up to tell you about Cerberus, he specifically says they are a Black Ops Alliance group that splintered from them a few months before the events of this game. So he actually like specifically says that. And then in Mass Effect 3, they make it sound like Cerberus has been, or Mass Effect 2 even, they make it sound like Cerberus has been around for decades. And so they changed the nature of this organization, and that's one of those things that bugs me. Okay. You just I don't think I know you then. I don't think I've ever talked to you. You kind of lurk in Discord. Actually, I don't see you on the list even.
Yeah, maybe he just means like that's his name on Discord, generally speaking. Maybe
Yeah.
he could actually be in ours.
Oh, okay. No, that's still your name in there, is I hate everyone, so shut up. Alright, I'm gonna call it quits there for the night, though. It's getting late.
Yep, sounds good, man. You have a good night.
Yep. Thanks everybody who joined.